Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome to my channel. I created this channel to share my walk with Christ, share uh, what I'm learning, my daily walk, and just to share encouragement. This channel is called Walking with Purpose, and the reason it's called Walking with Purpose is because I'm still learning what my purpose is. I'm still learning what God has for me, and I want to share that as well. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that I wish I knew before I converted to Christianity. And before I gave my life to Christ, I was in addiction, I was depressed, I was suicidal. And he came into my life and he changed me, he transformed me, he renewed me. It was a process. Like, I've been walking with Christ for now, I'll say 5 years, and I'm still learning each and every single day. And I feel like now, after 5 years, I'm finally getting to know who he truly is. I'm getting to know his character. I'm getting to understand more of the will that he has for my life. And it's just something that I want to share. So without further ado, let's just start. So here are a couple of things that I wish I knew before I gave my life to Christ. And the first thing is forgiveness. So I grew up without my parents. I grew up holding resentment because I didn't live with them, because I felt like they didn't love me. And to be honest, I just didn't understand their own situation. So I remember the first thing that I had to do, and this was having a conversation with my aunt, who was a Christian, and she is a big part of why I found Christ and why I'm a believer now. And we were having a conversation, about my mom, and she started telling me stories of how things were before I was born and after I was born, the depression that she was going through, sorry, and just everything that she had to deal with that I didn't know. And here's the crazy part. I didn't know nothing about her. I didn't know what she was going through. I didn't know the depression, the trauma, whatever she went through. And once I was able to get an understanding of her own traumas and her own things that she had to deal with, it made it easier for me to forgive. And because, listen, God knows everything about us. Like, he knows all my sins, all my thoughts, what's in my heart. And yet he was able to forgive me. So who am I holding forgiveness for somebody else? So the first thing I did was I called my mom. I had a conversation with her about, the things that I went through and the hurt that I was put through not having her in my life, and how much I really wanted her and needed her. And she said her piece. She talked to me about her own things, the things that she had been through, and I was just like, I forgive you, and forgive me if I ever did anything that offended you. And let me tell you guys, that broke so many chains because I could finally move on. I could finally heal. I could finally leave the past things in the past and just keep on walking in Christ, keep on walking on a new a new state of mind. I didn't have to worry about that anymore. That wasn't weighing me down. And here's why it's important to forgive. First of all, it's a command. God commands us to forgive. Second of all, we are called to forgive, just as Christ forgave us. Third, there's so much freedom in forgiveness. And I wish I knew this sooner. Another point is it brings freedom to you and to the other person. And now I don't want to sit here and say that my relationship with my mom is perfect or anything, but it's a work in progress. Like, I'm trying to call her more, see how she's doing. Um, and hopefully one day we can have that relationship that I always wanted. Another point is, it is not an easy walk. There's so many times that I failed. And another point is, being a Christian is not easy. It was hard for me to start reading my Bible. Sometimes it's still hard for me to pray. But each and every day that I apply myself and I keep pushing and keep on going, the more easy it is for me. The more I want to read the Bible, the more I want to pray, the more I want to be in connection with God. But it's a process because you still have to break those chains. Another thing that I wish I knew was the freedom that it brings. Now that I don't have to carry that weight that I've been carrying for years, that depression, that anxiety. Now that Christ is carrying all of that for me, it is an amazing feeling. I have this joy inside of me. Just knowing his word, just knowing who he is, just knowing what he has done for us, just knowing his promises. And it's just something that I wish I knew, because I lived most of my life in depression. Literally, I felt like I was living in a simulation, like things weren't real. But slowly, God has been taking that away from me. He has been molded me and transformed me, and I can see things for what they are. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's so amazing I can't even explain it, but it is a great feeling. Another thing I wish I knew was that this walk with Christ, just because you're walking with Christ doesn't mean that things are going to change overnight. Like I said earlier in this video, I've been walking with Christ for 5 years, and there's been times where I've been lukewarm. There's been times where I've been cold. There's been times where I've been hot. And through each and every state, I had to learn to remain consistent. And what I mean by that is sustain communion, stay in my word, stay praying. And I lost that for a little bit. But now it's just coming naturally. Now, as soon as I get home, I go straight into prayer. Before I go to sleep, I go straight into prayer. And that's because of the practice that I've been putting in. That's because I truly want to build that relationship with Christ, and I truly see what he has done for me. And if right now you're in that stage where you're cold or lukewarm, just keep on going. Like, keep on praying. Force yourself to pray. Force yourself to read. Because at the end of the day, it's going to pay off. At the end of the day, it's just something that's going to come naturally. And at the end of the day, God will reward that because he sees your effort. He sees that you truly want to get to know him. He sees that you truly want a relationship with him. And another thing is, Christianity is not a magic wand that you just wave and things happen. And I thought that was the case. I thought as soon as I became a Christian, all my troubles would go away instantly. And that wasn't the case. Literally, you have to put in the work. Yes, God can change things in an instant. Yes, God does change things. But you also have to put in effort. You also have to show God that you want to change. You also have to be willing to give up your control and let God do the work. And let God move. Let God make the change. And eventually you will see that change in your life. So I kind of want to go back and give you guys a little bit of my testimonies. Like I said earlier in the video, I didn't grow up with my parents. I grew up mostly with my grandmother in New York and my grandmother in the Dominican Republic. But I'm blessed that at least I had them, because I know there's a lot of people who didn't get the chance to even live with a family member or be loved or be shown love. And at least I was able to get that. So I'm appreciative of that. But it still affected me. Like, it still made me who I am today. I still was needing of love from my parents, protection and everything, but I didn't have that. And I was always searching for something and always looking for love in the wrong places. Was it with friends, relationships, drugs? But when I found what I thought was helping me, which was drugs, and I don't want to get into what kinds of drugs because that's the past, but I got so hooked into drugs to the point where I was like 140 pounds. I completely lost my mind. I was suicidal. I completely lost who I was. And I literally thought that that was going to be my life. Like, I was going to do drugs, be in the streets, and die that way. And that's it. I remember literally just being in the streets, all stinky. My family wouldn't hear from me for days. And when I finally showed up, I was either too tired, I was out of my mind, and I just didn't see a future for myself. I just didn't see where I was headed. I didn't see a purpose in life. I didn't care about life. And so one day I remember that my grandmother, she's like, "You're going to your aunt's house in Pennsylvania." And she called the bus. The bus came and got me the next morning. 3-hour drive all the way to Pennsylvania. And that night, when I was finally in Pennsylvania, my aunt prayed for me. And it wasn't nothing magical. I didn't feel anything special. I didn't even think about it. I just laid down, went to bed. And that night, I could literally feel death over me. I could literally feel where I was headed. I felt like I was pinned down to the bed and I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. And something in my heart told me to scream out to Jesus. And that's exactly what I did. And once I screamed out to Jesus, I could literally feel chains breaking. I could literally see myself being set free. And I'm not going to lie and say it was instant that I completely changed my life after that, because I didn't. I kept doing what I was doing. I was literally clean for 1 month, and then I fell. And after I fell, I was sent to a rehab program that's a year long. And that was when I truly met who Christ was. That was where I was set free. That was where God molded me and shaped me into what he wanted me to be. And a lot of things happened in the program and a lot of crazy stuff. And I stayed there for 4 years and a lot happened, which I don't want to talk about in this video. That's going to be for the next video. But I just want to say that God is good. He is great. He hears us. He is with us daily. And if we truly search him and if we truly seek for him, we will find him. And he will give us a purpose and a meaning in life. And that's all that I wanted. And I feel like he has done that in my life. I feel like he has given me meaning. I feel like I can finally walk around and not feel like I'm in a simulation. And that was only possible through him. So guys, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Have a good one. Amen.